Leading up to the general election, gun sales increased significantly in the United States because many were worried that if Hillary Clinton won, then she would pass very, very strict gun legislation and hinder Americans' abilities to buy guns that they perhaps shouldn't be able to buy. But nonetheless, Trump did get elected, and interestingly enough, even though gun sales have gone down a little bit, gun sales have gone up among a very specific group of people, minorities. And these are individuals who are very much concerned for their safety during the Trump administration. Now, NBC reported on this and gave us some facts and figures, so I want to share them with you. Apparently, gun store owners told NBC News that since November 8th, they're seeing up to 4 times as many black and minority customers, and black gun groups are reporting double the normal number of attendees at their meetings since the election. Now, let me give you some specific examples. In 2014, 54% of blacks surveyed by Pew Research said gun ownership does more to protect people from crime than put people's safety at risk, versus 29% who said that in 2012, almost double.
That's devastating.
Yeah, so there is, of course, this constant state of paranoia that we're living in the United States right now, and it's been amplified by the fact that the Southern Poverty Law Center has reported that, you know, hundreds, I think at this point around 900 hate crimes have been, or complaints have been reported to the organization. And so we've seen stories of people flipping out at African-American baristas at Coffee Beans or at Starbucks. We've seen cases of swastikas incorrectly spray painted on various pieces of private property. And, you know, hijabs or headscarves have been ripped off of people's heads. So we're seeing all sorts of these cases, and of course, minorities are afraid, and so now they are arming themselves to protect themselves if something happens.
Yeah, which I understand, but
I
isn't
100%
necessarily the solution. And also, I mean, the stats about between 2012 and 2014, the fears of saying basically that guns they protect you rather than putting your life more at risk, that those numbers would rise so much at that point. And that's before Trump, by the way. At the same time, violent crime is going down, and so I believe it's fair to say, demonstrably untrue that you don't need guns as much. Now, yes, there are more hate crimes now, and God knows that might become a constant under Donald Trump, but I don't think that people should have the level of fear that they do. People in America are so primed to be scared of everyone around them. Now, right now, I can totally understand, especially if you're a minority, that you would be scared, because we're seeing the Sig Heils being yelled out and the swastikas and all that. I mean, generally, for most of these cases, like the person who yelled at the barista, I'm glad the barista didn't have a gun, because there didn't need to be a shooting there.
Right.
I'm worried that in their attempts to defend themselves, even rightfully so, like they are scared and they should be, in that case, they're not going to be given the benefit of the doubt. They shoot someone. Stand your ground rarely applies if you're non-white. Now, you might need to do something to protect your life, but if you do, you are not going to be treated the same as a white person who packs a gun and just ends up shooting somebody.
I get it, and it strikes close to home for me personally, because I want to get a gun. And so, look, I'm keeping it real. I'm going to, and I know Cenk disagrees with it, and other people here at TYT disagree with it. I don't care.
I don't want a gun around Charlie.
I don't want a gun around Charlie either, and it sucks that it's gotten to this point. But 2016, for the first time ever in my life, made me realize that there are people out there who genuinely want to hurt you, and they want to attack you. They want to hurt you and attack you simply because you have a point of view or a perspective that differs from their own perspective.
And because you're a woman while having that perspective.
That's also part of it, right? And so yesterday, for instance, I was on Instagram, and some crazy white, I don't even know how I came across this guy's page. Sometimes, you know, when I smoke weed, I like to go through the Discover page on Instagram because it's interesting. You just see like random pictures and random memes that might be entertaining or funny or thought-provoking. And I came across this white supremacist page where he was just posting pictures of lynchings. And I guess he hadn't been reported yet, and I reported him immediately. Yeah. And I don't know if he got taken down. I haven't checked. I got a note back saying that that specific photo that I reported got taken down. But we're living in this day and age where people are not just being attacked on the internet anymore. People are being physically attacked in person,
Yeah.
and they're afraid. And I get it. And so I just want everyone to take a step back, reflect on what's happening, and before you make a decision to get a weapon, which of course I just disclosed to you guys that I made the decision to do that myself.
You have an attack dog.
Right. Just make sure that you're properly trained with it, which, by the way, at this point I'm not. I'm going to start training with Wes, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be fun. We should do a video.
And be safe. Be safe. Like, I'm a responsible person, and also I hate shooting guns. I've been to gun ranges, and every single time I despise it. It doesn't make me
I actually
feel,
enjoy it.
I don't
feel the
enjoy
need to
it.
own
I don't
one.
feel powerful, and I actually feel terrible that it's gotten to this point, right, where I feel like I need to do something that I actually don't like to do just to feel protected and safe. But this is the world we live in now, so I get it. I don't begrudge them at all. I just hope that they're safe and that they're even-tempered and they don't, you know, prematurely use their weapon.
Well, kind of what this shows is, I guess, mission accomplished in a way. When you stoke fear where it doesn't exist, to the degree that it's been stoked in this country, like I've always said before, there was this assumption that only conservatives or white folks own guns in the country, or that they are the only ones who buy into any of the fear that happens. So once fear strikes anyone, we're all Americans. We were all born in this same thought process of, hey, you're gonna come for me, I gotta come for you first. And that's we've proven that out in our legal proceedings, right? So no matter what background you are, people continue to forget. I don't care what race you are, you're like, oh, someone's coming to attack me. I need to be ready. And that's just the way we think. So I hope they're not surprised by this, you know, by this influx. And now that would breed more, oh, I don't know in what
And now
in what
more
circles,
people will buy guns after hearing this report.
Exactly. In what circles it could be like,
shit,
did you
the
hear?
minorities getting guns?
Yeah, that's absolutely
Because there was
right.
already the assumption that black folks carry all the guns except they have them illegally. You know, those ghettos are packed full of guns and they just shoot them in the air every night.
Yeah,
That's
they're not
the
packed
thought
full of
process.
AK-47s. I know that.
By the way,
just be careful. Be super careful.
no, of course. And again, if by the way, for anyone who's like, oh, I thought you were against guns, I've always been very clear that I've never been, maybe when I was really young, I was like, yeah, ban guns, but that wasn't an educated way of approaching the situation. I don't agree with a gun ban, but I do agree with the proper measures to ensure that the wrong people don't end up with guns, right? I know that it seems like it's impossible to turn back the hands of time and do something about the fact that we're swimming in guns and it's super easy to get access to them. But I'm going to go through a background check. I want to go through the proper legal measures to obtain a gun. That's the way that it should be, right? I feel like people like me, people like Jordan, who watches this show and who's an incredible, incredible person, should have the right to a gun because we're responsible human beings.
There's so much you get with Young Turks membership. You get the full 2-hour show of the Young Turks every single day. It's commercial free. You get Aggressive Progressives. You get all the other network shows that we put together. What else? Post games, right? And other things. And hugs and kisses and rainbows. You know what?
Somebody go get a 6-pack.
And let's all enjoy membership together. tytnetwork.com/join.